Okay, so we're going to head in, and I'm going to show you the next step in the progression, where I think you should be in, as far as managing your funds and managing how you're developing. I'll give this a second to open up. Okay, so I made a few changes, once the city started, and one of the things that I did, I brought in a solar power collector, recycling center, because I want to start managing all this. Again, I have a neighbor deal, and what that looks like is that when we're going here, they actually give me garbage, but they're paying me, which is sort of helping me out as far as the revenue. So what revenue is how much I'm making each year. So this is one of those things we want to make sure that we're always in the black. Now, if I'm looking at where I should be going as far as development, it's good because it looks like they're asking me to develop all three. So, residential, commercial, and industrial. So I'm going to move over here. I'm going to start with industry, and if I look at this building right here and this building right here, I already have clean industry coming in, but I'm going to continue to develop, and I'm going to make sure that that is dense. And again, I don't want this to be any bigger than 3 by 3, and I might have to, change the roads a little bit as I develop. And I'll bring the road right over here. So this is going to start to look like a city. City blocks, etc. And anytime this comes up, I already have connections made over here at the highway. I don't need to spend $2,500 to connect again, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to say no. There's plenty of avenues for them to come in from other cities. So once I press play here, that should start to develop. Then I'm going to move over here, and I'm going to start to develop my residential as well. All right, so I'm going to change the map around here, or I can see some of the schools right now. Why I've got 4 schools in a row. Just want to make sure that we have enough seats, and each school has a letter grade of A. I'm going to come right down here and look into some of the stats as well. I'm going to view data. I want to know if I have any crime. And I can look at that in 2 ways, either this map right here showing the 2 police stations. It doesn't look like there's any high crime. I can look at my stats as well as far as crime goes. It's down to 5%. I'm going to look at unemployment. That's at 10%, so we need to address, it's at 14%, so we really need to develop. And if we look over here at the map, this is telling us that it's time to develop more industry. So I'm going to keep going here. And in fact, I might actually move into this area as well, because they have a way to get to and from either the highway or the underpasses. Okay, so one of the things you're going to notice, you're going to see a message pop up that says your power plants are in danger of exploding, or a power plant exploded. These small wind generators only have a really small lifespan, so I'm going to start to get rid of them, even though it is alternate energy. Those are the ones that are going to, again, they don't last a long time, and that's what they're referring to. I do have a power plant over here, and it's saying that these don't have power. So I'm going to address that by bringing power lines from the solar power collector. And I'm going to have to be creative about how I do this here. I'm going to go this way, and then right along this area right here, and right along here. And that should do it once I bring this over. So as soon as these zones are connected, right now they're not. This zone right here, if I look at it, has power. Oh, actually it doesn't. I should probably press play. And once I press play, all these zones are going to have power, and then this area of industry will start to develop. And I'm going to just keep going here. Okay. And that's pretty much it. I mean, as far as developing, I want to keep track of this. I want to make sure that it's not more than 100% full. Right now it's only 20% full, so hopefully eventually this is just going to go away. And now that I've developed more industry, that chart has now leveled out. And I'm just going to sort of wait and let this progress. I think what it is time for, I'm going to bring in either a park, a ballpark, or something that has to do with recreation. Right down here, I'm going to start with a large park, put this out near the lake, make sure they have a bus station to get there. And that's the one thing I haven't addressed yet is mass transit. That's going to really help the city as far as them getting to work, to and from. So I'm going to start placing these around the city if you're not seeing them. There's one out here in the middle of nowhere. I'm going to get rid of that. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a library. That's one thing I don't have yet. And I might keep this over by the park, and I want this area to be one of those recreational areas. And then that's that. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick save. And again, the message here today is to continue to develop, continue to watch these right here. If it goes above the I, that means you're going to find a place to develop industry. If it goes above the R, you're going to find places to develop residential. And it's one of those things. You have to press play, and you'll let this progress. So right now, the only thing I don't like is the fact that this right here really isn't developing. They look like all small parks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually get rid of those. I don't know why there's so many small parks here. And then I'm going to let that progress, and those will redevelop. Okay, and that's it for today. Good luck.